Welcome back to the podcast that rocked, weekly podcast that talks about news in the world of rock, metal, alternative, and everything in between. My name is Luke.
My name is Alex.
And my name is Ron.
Thank you so much for tuning in on this Tuesday evening. Hopefully you're all doing well. While we're broadcasting live on YouTube, if we get to 52 likes, we will do at least one round of Festival Rock or Flop where we book a chaotically random festival of 4 bands and hope for the best. Last week we had a pretty good run up until the last round we booked, which was odd to say the least, but that's okay. Thank you all so much. One quick bit of housekeeping. I put a poll up on the community tab on YouTube asking which day you prefer, Tuesdays or Wednesdays. Not an insignificant amount, and I'm going to say that as the polite way to put it. It looks like Wednesdays are more preferred, and as that will be easier for some of us as well, starting in April, we'll be moving to Wednesdays. If that's still okay with everyone here, I think that'll give us enough time to help really nail it in as we've been talking about, so that way everyone knows. Not this week, not next week, but on the first week of April, we will actually start everything from Wednesdays going forward. Hope to see you all there, but March will be Tuesdays. Anything else I need to go before we start going into the chaos that is this week?
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Very nice. Thank you so much. We will go through all super chats at the end as well. Please keep them coming. It does help a ton to combat the terrible ad revenue payouts. Thank you again. So, everyone, who's ready for some great news this week? Great, positive, no way to spin it bad news. Everyone?
I don't believe you.
No, man, I cannot wait to talk about everything positive this week.
Okay, let me rephrase. We do have positive things to talk about later. Right now, we have some confirmed... Man, as soon as I said that, Pearl just straight up left. Like, he got up and left, and he was dead asleep. He's like, nope,
Smart kitty. Smart kitty.
Oh, boy, that's that type of week. Pearl's a smart cat. All right. For those who are not aware, it was made very public that the band Brand New has returned and will be doing at least a handful of shows. Brand New is, for lack of a better word, one of the many Warped Tour bands. This one featuring Jesse Lacey, who was outed for soliciting images of a minor. Boy, this is a week where I have to dance around every term carefully on YouTube. I mean, real carefully, guys, but we'll do it. I'm not going to go through all the nitty-gritty. What needs to be said is Brand New has been completely away since 2017 when all that stuff got posted. And I don't mean just allegations and accusations, proof, like text messages, screenshots, everything. Jesse Lacey back in 2017 made the statement, I am sorry for how I've hurt people, mistreated them, lied, and cheated. I'm sorry for ignoring in which the way my position, status, and power as a member of a band affected the way people viewed me or their approach to their interactions with me. And I am sorry for how often I have not afforded women the respect, support, or honesty that they deserved, and which is their right. He also admitted later that he has a serious sex addiction that he derived from a younger age, and that he has been very unfaithful to past relationships. So, Brand New's back. And they tested the waters last year at a secret show that apparently got all the Warped Tour fans and the people that grew up with Brand New's music, which is not a small number. Brand New was a big, solid thing for the 2010s. And like in the 2000s, 2010s, that's a fair statement. And now in 2025, it looks like people are trying to go to the reunion shows that just got announced yesterday and today. And I don't know how to feel about that. Alex, Rowan?
Well, it doesn't surprise me that there is like demand. I feel like, I mean, like we talked about it, like with like other bands of like As I Lay Dying and the likes. So it's like when a band is like so like kind of like dormant for so long, even if the reason for like them going dormant was for more problematic stuff, I feel like some of the fans are just like so connected with the band itself and the music that like they are just kind of like, I don't know if I want to say parasitic relationship, but it's kind of like a thing where it's like they are willing to look past it because like this was their favorite band or something like that. You know,
they're very quick to forgive or find.
They're very like
yeah,
they were kind of like starved to get like
to
see that like their favorite band is active again.
Brand New is definitely one of the bands, like, they're the definition of they'll have their supporters no matter what, because the music reached out, was so sincere, it helped a lot of people. This is not the best comparison, but I promise it'll make sense once I explain it. Did either of you two read The Dirt from Motley Crue? The autobiography. Okay.
I saw that movie.
Okay, the movie's at least somewhat. Anyway.
I know some of the I know some bits. I didn't read the whole book.
Okay. The Dirt is a bit of a confession and step-by-step thing of all the terrible stuff they did back in the 80s and early 90s. They do not hold back. This is not just, they were awful and drunk backstage. No, they went way past that. And I'm not getting into that on YouTube.
Just full degeneracy, yeah.
Yes, and it went to the point of felonies and legit crimes. So, years go by. One of them does hard jail time for their poor choices. Decades go by. Motley Crue is still one of the celebrated 80s bands of hair metal and glam rock, you know? You still get all that. Now you pull up to this, though. Brand New is in no way on the same level as Motley Crue in terms of popularity, worldwide success. They still have a lot of name value from that time period, and they have been quiet since 2017. The other band members have not made a peep about this. So it does make me wonder what all has been said and done, if they're going to really try to approach any of this and like try to make a statement. Because as of now, there's been no actual statement of, listen, Jesse did some terrible things. It's been some time. We're trying to move past this. If that's the case, maybe that's something. But boy, it's an ugly situation. Is that a fair
weird?
Way? Is that a fair way? Yeah.
It's an ugly situation for sure.
It's also just like a thing where it's like, oh, I'm sorry, David.
Go for it.
No, yeah, it's just like a thing where it's like, yeah, it's terrible. What he did was terrible, but like at the same time too, what someone considers like too far is going to change, you know? So like, you know, it's their bandmate and all that stuff. So maybe it's like, you know.
Yeah. Alex, you have any thoughts on this so far? Because there's other points I need to bring up about this as well.
No, well, I was just going to kind of liken it to some other big comeback type announcements we've had over the past few months. Because there are certain, like with Linkin Park, okay, that was a situation where we didn't know all of the stuff about all of the new.
Yes.
You know what I'm trying to say without saying it.
Right.
Like there are just so many pieces tied into these things that they're just not addressing. And so it's kind of weird. And I'm hoping this isn't a trend where it's going to continually be this thing where it's like, we're just not going to address the elephant in the room.
Yeah. I will say this is 3 shows. This is not a full tour. They're not announcing festival dates yet that we know of. I could be wrong about that for next week. But so far, it's a quiet return after that one-off show at the end of last year, that like secret show. Linkin Park just said, we're back. Here's a world tour. Here's our new album. The sky's the limit and smiles all around, you know, and really just kind of looked away from everything else. This is a different situation. I mean, This goes to grooming. There's no other way to say it. And that sucks. So, now I go
just for the record, so I can say this to you guys for sure. I'm not trying to compare the situations at all. My comparison between those two instances is literally just talking about the stuff going on in the band that the fans don't know about, and then skirting over it and not addressing those things.
Agree. The PR response of ignore it and business as usual.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is a very PR. Ignore how we make Coca-Cola. Tell people to enjoy Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
It's the same for bands and music, kind of, in that thing. Like, don't tell them how the sausage is made. Just tell them we have delicious sausage. That's what people need to know.
You had to use the word sausage in this scenario.
Some of these situations, it really is as ugly as how the sausage is made, I assure you.
Question you do not ask.
Yes, correct. So, the other part I want to bring up about this, and this is a situation where this has not been made light news. This is not just in our little niche or our little pocket of a podcast world. No, this has gotten bigger traction. The reaction has been exactly what you think it would be online. Did you all think it'd all be worth like a well-respected and well-reasoned, articulated answers that we've tried to give over the last couple of minutes? Well, guess what? Wrong. I will not be reading every single response I've seen on TikTok and Instagram, but boy, oh boy, they get pretty rough. So, I want to go over a couple. Just something simple. Finding out brand new is officially back just ruined my day. Do not look at Reddit comments of any posts regarding brand new recently. Holy crap. Yeah, I would not go on Reddit with brand new posts right now this week. Goodness, no.
It's gotta be a war zone, the subreddit.
Brand new is back. Weird. Is this a safe space? Brand new reunited for tour. Oh, goodness. They go on and on. Yeah. Many of the ones I've seen are pretty rough. Some of the ones that Loudwire just kind of focused on were a bit more tame, thankfully. The big joke going on TikTok now is that, is this an all ages show? Because of obvious reasons. Yeah, you get it? Yeah.
Yeah.
The second part I want to talk about this with a discussion. Brand new can never live that side of the stigma down. There's no way.
Yeah. I gotta say, though, it's like, I think it's just because we had like we were talking about them not too long ago, but it definitely reminds me of like, I wonder if we'll like see something like with what happened with Dance Gavin Dance, where it's like they tried to come back with like the problematic guy, then they realize, okay,
yeah.
You know what, this isn't like
that was a weird one. Yeah, that's a unique situation right there.
Yeah.
And I know with Jesse Lacey and Brand New, like how much he wrote and stuff, he was a big part of childhood and adolescence for that generation, especially for that Warped Tour era, like the later Warped Tour era. And then he became a key focal point of the bad side of the Warped Tour era. So, man, oh man. And oddly enough, the return of Warped Tour this year. So... The more time is a flat circle. You can't see it right now, but both of my co-hosts have either disgruntled or concerned looks on their faces to everyone listening on the podcast feeds. So there is no right answer for this, unfortunately, outside of I don't feel good about what could happen. And
is a good description.
It is. And it's such a sad thing where I'm not even like a diehard Brand New fan or anything I ever have, but I definitely know a few. And it's such a weird thing, even for wanting for them to get some type of updated response. It doesn't have to be a 5-page apology or one of those long-winded posts of the Notes app on Twitter. Like you just have this long written out thing that a lot of people like to do. Just some type of updated statements addressing everything and like what
you can't just try and like. Oh, sorry.
No, I was going to say, you can't just sweep everything under the rug after 8 years. Like, explain what's been going on. 8 years is not a small amount of time, you know?
Yeah. Wild. This year's wild.
Yeah, and I'm not going to say, like, Jesse Lacey has had it easy the last 8 years either. Apparently he had some bad things outside of all the stuff he caused as well. I mean, if he's coming out and saying he had sexual addiction that he got as a child, I mean, and all the other situations, I can't imagine those are all good situations. However, that does not excuse his bad behavior.
Yeah, it's just like, it's like that Tool song. It's like, just because you went through some stuff, that doesn't mean you get to kind of like, put that on other people.
Yes.
You're just continuing the cycle at that point.
Yeah. And again, Brand New's going to have supporters at this show. People found out, apparently a lot of people found out from being like signed up to their old website and like getting updated emails about upcoming shows too. That's how some fans found out. I think that's interesting. Like they never shut anything down after 2017. The whole band just went library quiet for years.
I don't know. You got to kind of think we have to take 2020 to 2022 into account, I think, with time frames.
Absolutely.
Because, I mean, that really doesn't count in my mind.
And for any band, I don't care what it is. I agree.
Yeah, totally. For any band and for, just normal lives, we lost like 3 years. Yeah. So when you look at it that way, it's not that weird that it was still there. I don't know. I'm just trying to kind of make sense of stuff. I'm grasping, but
Yeah. And that's what sucks, because we do have to grasp, because we have nothing else of any clarity under a situation like this. And that sucks the worst for the big diehard brand new fans who already had their heart broken once. You know, I'm confident there are fans out there with brand new tattoos and like lyric tattoos and stuff.
I would hate to be.
Think about it.
I couldn't imagine being a fan and then being like, "Damn it, are you kidding me?" Like you're a diehard, you're all about it, and then you learn about this stuff, and you're like, "Really?"
Yep.
No, I'm just saying in general, when it's like you get a band tattoo, a band you love, and it's just like someone does something. It's like, crap. Now
all the time.
Now I have to explain this. Now I have to kind of like defend myself.
Oh, screw it. Just get
ups are fine.
Yeah, you got to get a blackout tattoo at that point. You just got to get a good. Go back to your artist, say, cover this up.
Cover up.
Make something else out of it. I don't care what. Charge as much as you want to. Do what it takes.
Cover-ups are great. Lasering's fine.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just like, I don't approve of brand new's actions. You just leave the logo, but have like a top and bottom, like a caption.
To my knowledge, Jesse Lacey did not do any prison time. To my knowledge, it was maybe he should have, because like trying to solicit images from minors.
No, that's illegal. That's illegal.
That is a big deal. I don't think he ever received them, or at least that we know of. But however, due to his own admission,
the intent was there.
Yeah, exactly. Especially due to his own admission of other issues he was having. I don't know. I don't know the whole story. Other people can update me on that side of it. I just know the basic points of what happened back in the day, and updated 8 years later, where again, time is a flat circle and our problems are never truly resolved. Life just goes on. Yeah, I see a lot of differing opinions in the chat as well. I kind of get it. This is not an easy situation to just like wake up to on a Tuesday, when, especially in the United States, we already have some situations that are kind of like looming with other uncomfortable circumstances right now. And I won't go into that diatribe of everything. Do you two remember when we started this podcast together last summer, where I said I wanted to make this a positive podcast to talk about positive things and give something nice? Do you guys remember that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Because I'm trying to remember.
We do a good job with that.
I remember last week we tried to swing things around into a positive state. We did a pretty good job. It's getting hard when the universe says, "Oh yeah, well guess what?" every week.
It's the planets.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like last week was just like we were all able to come together and just point and laugh at Billy McFarland for having the audacity to promote Fyre Fest II. This one, it's like, this is some muddy waters right here.
And also last week, you remember, like we spun around, like, hey, here's some great festivals you can go to instead.
Yeah.
Save your money and save your time. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the kind of positivity we need to be putting out into the universe.
Yeah.
We can't crack jokes about this. Not
exactly.
really.
I was going to say, I don't know how to spin a positive spin on something like this right now, especially this early in the 2025 state for them. You're going to have to wait on that one, guys. Sorry. We can't do the yucks when it's something this dark, you know? I remember my wife and I, when we were still remote at the time in 2020, during the Black Lives Matter movement, deep in pandemic, like one podcast, we just started reading all the quotes during the BLM stuff. That was it. We were just like, no, we're just going to go through all these from all the different musicians talking about Black Lives Matter and all the things like that. Screw it. The news is too important. Sometimes we get stories like this where we have to dig up the dirt a little and skirt around it politely to make sure YouTube doesn't destroy our channel, but also to make sure you guys are unaware of what's going on.
Yeah.
I personally will not be going to any of these shows. I don't like.
I will
I
not be attending.
Yeah. People already know my thoughts on Warped Tour, the touring fest. And it's a very different situation now this year for the 3 shows, but what the Warped Tour touring circus was in the 2010s and how messy it was. So, I don't know.
See, I was never super deep into like the emo or the scene.
Right.
Like, you know, I was more of like a metal or goth type leaning kid, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I didn't know about any of the brand new stuff. I wasn't really aware at the time of any of the Warped Tour stuff. All I knew was, oh yeah, that's this cool festival you can go to and pay some soup when you get in the door. And I was like, huh, In This Moment's playing. This is fantastic.
Oh my God.
Of this drama.
You just said such a wild sentence, and it's absolutely true. Like everything you said was accurate.
Yes. Hang on, I gotta go charge my doorbell with my couch. Give me a minute.
Yeah, right? It's just something weird, but it makes sense.
Yes. words that mean things in 2025. But yeah, so I didn't know about any of that stuff until way later. Brand new is one of these more recent things that I've discovered, and I'm like, damn it, that sucks.
It does. And and you're saying that as not a big Brand New fan either. Think if you were one of those diehards, and Brand New has some diehards.
That would be heartbreaking,
right?
Yeah, it's like I feel like I don't know. Speaking for myself here, but like I feel like every one of us at some point has like there is an act that we like, and then something happens, and then that's like we really gotta like think like, can I separate the artist from the from the art? You know, it's like can I?
100%, and I think we're all tested that way at one point or another. And that's not just for rock and metal and alternative either. That goes back to the days of Elvis and the Beatles, you know, and all these other bands, all those country artists. Then you get right now, who's in jail for the rest of his life and is never going to be able to see the light of day again? Diddy. You know? And rightfully so, by the way. I don't know how far they have him in a cell underground right now. Dig a little deeper for the guy.
People have been joking about it, but it's actually hilarious to me if he is actually cellmates Luigi Mangione.
Oh, Luigi wouldn't put up with that. Oh,
it's just funny.
So, it's been a wild. What is it now? We're technically on our third month of 2025. It feels like it's been a year and also a week.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So
I was saying that in January. I'm like, it's January 578th.
What a 2025, huh? It's the second week of January. Yeah.
It feels like a thing where it's like, ever since 2020, it's like every year, it feels like so much happened. And then it's like, oh, it's freaking February still or something like that. Mm-hmm. It's like, we are barely into this year.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, we still have many more months to go. I just got a feeling. Do you ever get that feeling? This upcoming next week or two is going to be a long week for the world. You ever get that feeling? I got that feeling right now. Like
don't jinx it.
See, when I get that feeling though, like it's been pretty on point. But yeah,
you get like a spidey sense.
Yes, a terrible spidey sense.
I do gotta say though,
I call it intuition. Women's intuition's never wrong, and this feels weird.
Oh, okay.
If I may say
though, for, dude, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Gut feeling. If I may say though, if to any and all like former Brand New fans, I don't care for what your opinion on this is. Oh my god, sorry, I cannot speak right now. Brand New has got to be one of the garbage names you could have for your band.
They did not think of SEO or search indexing. Nope, they did not think of that. Like the band Live from the 90s.
Yeah,
in Live's defense, the 90s didn't really have internet.
Sure, but it's still such a basic name. Who are you? Live. What? Live. What's your band's name? Live. Yeah, I get you play live. What do you play? What's the name of your band? Live? Yes, I know you're going on stage live. What's the name? That type of thing.
Yeah, no, but like, to that same energy, it's like, oh, hey, we've been around for 10 years. We're brand new. It's like, shut up. That's lame. Yeah, it's such a gimmicky name that ages so horribly so fast.
It's very generic. Very, very, like, not even punny. It's not even a pun or play on anything. So,
yeah.
Whatever. That's the least of their problems right now, you know? So
at least Hoobastank like stands out more to you.
Oh, I don't know. Hoobastank's not a problematic band, but that name is rough.
It's more unique though. They try to do something like...
Yeah, way to go. Everyone will remember your name. That's not exactly a good thing, though.
I guess, yeah.
You have the word stank in your band name. Come on.
Put it away, Chumbawamba.
Yeah.
Chumbawamba was oh my god.
And Chumbawamba was a true, like, British punk anarchy band that had serious songs. What are they known for? I Get Knocked Down. Again, that's the one song they're known for, but they had so much more like Down with the System, Total Anarchy, Burn Down Parliament albums. So
the funniest thing about that is nobody even knows what that song's called. Mm-hmm. That cracks me up. It's like if you learned it randomly in some weird trivia somewhere, you know it's Tub Thumping. But no one would ever know that's what that song.
Off the album, Tub Thumper.
I have a vivid memory of like my babysitter when I was younger would play that song all the time, and whenever I was in the car with her, and I just kept saying, "Can you play the I Get Knocked Down song?"
Well, that's what other adults still call it now too. So it's not just being like a young child thing either. So
Yeah, no,
So that's enough of this. We'll give any updates they have. Again, I'm hoping for some type of updated statement. Doesn't have to be long. I'm just hoping for that. Speaking of hoping for an updated statement, turns out Fyre Festival 2 needs to have a little more information out there for everybody. We found out today. Oh, actually, technically yesterday, but I found out today. Turns out Mr. McFarlane may not have been as very forthcoming about how planned out everything is. So
Weird.
yeah, so after his big Today Show interview and his website relaunch and selling tickets for up to $1 million for that big, what is
egregious,
it,
by the way.
Prometheus package, because Prometheus fire, get it? I still can't stand that, by the way. But
By the way,
regardless,
Prometheus stole Fyre, by the way. So, like,
oh, you know,
just
he
like how
did-
Billy
you
steals
know,
your money.
You know, he didn't think that far ahead for the. You know, he did not think of that
No.
that much. Not.
I know, but I can, and I know how terrible that would.
So it
Of a
turns
decision that
out the actual tourist board in Mexico that also works with the aisle they're supposed to be having this event says, yeah, there's no event here going on for this that he's promising. Billy McFarlane just got outed by Mexico saying, we don't have any word about this. From Edgar Gasca from the Tourism Directorate of Isla Mujeres and part of Mexico and the government there, or like, you know, like kind of like government officials work with the government type of thing. We have no knowledge of this event, nor contact with any person or company about it. For us, this is an event that does not exist. Oh.
No.
And supposedly this is 3 months from now, people. Or no, wait, 2 months. My bad. Yeah.
You're right, it's March now. Oh, God.
Yeah, no.
Clock's ticking.
Yeah, in 2 months, apparently not even Mexico is like, what the hell are you talking about? We didn't approve of this.
Isla
Y'all,
Mujeres.
it's some deja vu.
Yes, it is. Isla Mujeres also made statements on their socials saying, due to the information circulating in the media regarding the event, Fyre Festival 2, the General Director of Tourism Isla Mujeres informs that no person or company of fans request permits from this office or any other municipal government department for said events. For more information about tourism-related events, we invite you to consult our official communication channels.
I said it before, and I'll say it again. Especially after this, if I hear of anyone actually buying into Fyre Festival, they are genuinely the stupidest person on the planet, and they deserve to lose everything.
As of now, also no bans, no updates to what's going to be at the thing are there. I think Billy's trying to fly down to Mexico. Oh, that's another update. Now, this is part of the gray area where we have to make sure we dot and cross everything. You know how Billy McFarlane's an ex-felon is a felon now, and he was released from jail. He served his sentence. Well, there's a thing with American extradition and all this, and like being able to leave the country right away after you serve a sentence. That means we aren't positive if Mr. McFarlane is actually illegally allowed to fly back and forth from Mexico to the States to make sure this happens.
Oh my God.
Brother, in 2025, we can't have any expectations like this.
Did anyone?
It's actually. I mean, like, give him some credit. When Fyre Festival 1 was first announced, there was some hope for it. For this one, it's like there is genuinely nothing you have going for you right now in any element.
I wholeheartedly think he thought the event was going to be so big because he still thinks people want to do this. He plans on this being such a big event that people will have to be a part of it. He does not understand the stigma tied to it. He only sees the potential and the profit possibility.
Do you think it's like a thing where he's playing into the stigma where it's like, oh yeah, you know, it's like, yeah, I'm running Fyre Fest 2. It's like, don't you want to be a part of it? Don't you want to be like, yeah, I was here for this crap
I'm
show?
sure that's part of it, but like he probably also wants to prove everyone wrong, but he does not understand that so much stigma and the back talk is going to detract from this. We have no records of anyone buying tickets yet. I could not, that actually has a serious like statement or receipt emailed to them that they screenshotted and blacked out the personal stuff. Nothing like that. So less than 3 months away, I now pose the question, and anyone in chat, feel free to respond. Was he just hoping that at least one person was going to buy that $1 million ticket? And he'd go, okay, I'm set. I got his money, and then get out of here.
Well, I feel like he wouldn't even do that because isn't he several $1 million in debt? He needs like
we
six
did the math.
idiots or
We
something.
did the math. Yeah, how many tickets was that going to have to be for Prometheus? I don't remember how much debt he's in. Like 26 million. Let's just say something like that.
Yeah, so you gotta hope there's like 26 rich idiots out there who somehow don't know what happened with Fyre Fest 1.
See, that's the thing. He doesn't care. He doesn't care at all.
No, but
He's
the
like, I'm
balls to
free. And I'm not talking about the people buying tickets. I'm talking about this whole damn thing because even the place where he's trying, it's real. Trust me, bro, it's real.
Yeah,
the
that's
place
the
doesn't
thing.
even
Really
know
is
about
that.
it.
And like we talked about this at the end of last summer. And then a couple of weeks, like last week when he did the Today Show interview, out of prison, has all these plans, has a website relaunched. But now even Mexico and Alan Mueres is saying, no one's contacted us about this. We definitely don't have any event going on in May of this year. You can forget it. Then what do? How can you sell this now? How can you sell this when the area you're supposed to be having a luxury, massive event is saying, not here, you're not.
Also, by the way, like, even if he wants to try and, like, do another, like, festival or concert, how inept do you have to be as a businessman to name it Fyre Fest 2? That brand name is like, it's done.
That is a big part of business and marketing. You have to make a new identity if something bombs so bad. He could have done that easily.
Yeah.
And that
I'm not even a business major, and I know that.
Yeah, like, that actually would have caused a lot of relief for him going forward. Yeah, it's another Billy McFarland event, but it's not Fyre Fest. It's, I don't even know, something else reclaimed with fire because he's not that creative. It's Spark Fest. It's Spark,
or like, or like that, and also don't make yourself like Billy should realize he should not be the figurehead. If he really wanted to do this, he should try and get someone else to be the spokesman or the face of this or something while he works in the background. Because I feel like
problem.
Who's it going to be? Who's he going to get to? Who's he going to get to buy and say, "Yeah, I'm speaking on behalf of Billy McFarland, who's helping, but I'm the face now."
It would be better though, right?
It would be better, but who are you going to find?
That's the thing, though. He doesn't. All of this is about Billy. Yes. I'm creating this big festival. I'm making this happen. Me. Yes. Do what I say. I'm the smartest. He is making this festival, and it's all about him and his ego. That's all this is, and it's not even real.
He's an idiot and a narcissist. The worst combination of a human being you can be.
And he's in $26 million in debt trying to make another event that could really cause a lot of damage and physical harm.
I read that he dropped out of college, by the way, which is so on brand.
Yeah. I want to say 26 million. Please correct me in the chat if I'm wrong. How much he owes.
I think that's what we said.
If
and he's like,
owes that.
I think that's what we found on that AXS article I pulled up. And he's planning on using ticket sales from this or whatever he can actually get people to pay for. He's like, oh yeah, I'm going to put 500,000 toward it. It's fine. What?
Where's he getting the $500,000? What does he do for work? Where does he make his money?
And my thing is too, after all the money you're going to have to pay to have a yacht and artists come that might show up, I still can't get over that. We might have an MMA and skateboard specialist and some bands pop. We never know until we're there. Like, okay, that's besides the point right now. It's stupid. You have all that money you have to pay out from the revenue you drive. Then you get the profit. Right now, I don't even see any revenue, let alone what profit shares might be.
Yeah.
He might be better off just flipping burgers at McDonald's at this point.
As a financial, like for all I know for finances, it is never a great thing to suggest declaring bankruptcy. Billy, you need to declare bankruptcy really fast and move away.
Yeah, no, by the way,
He's
someone
not
said in the
about
chat, 27.4 million
it's
in
more
debts.
Than we thought.
We weren't far off. We're not far off, but still, my God, that's the profit he hopes he has to make after all the expenses.
Oh, if he made 1.4
it's not
million
happening,
profit
Billy.
After this nightmare, I can't see it being more than the clamshell The styrofoam clamshell with the shred of lettuce and cheese for dinner. I can't see it being more than that right now either, right, with all this. There's no way. With like the FEMA tents that were on the beach and everyone was fighting over them. And then the airport was so clogged, like they couldn't even get people to fly out on time.
Oh, someone else in the chat said like McDonald's is too good for him.
Oh, he has to apply and put his references down and like his past experience. They're like,
yeah, no,
I don't think so.
We don't even trust you to flip a burger or something like that. We don't trust you to take a customer's order.
They put him on the intercom for the drive-thru, and he's like trying to upsell stuff and like charge him way too much. And like, it's like, you could have a Big Mac, or you could have the experience. That's where I put all the patties I can find on one bun and hand it to you out back before the car. I'll bring it to you. All it costs is an extra $50. He's trying to make his own deals.
He would be like, I got better burgers outside. Meet me after work, after I get off. Pay me now. Then I'll give you the best burgers you've ever had. Trust me. This one's good, but this one's better.
For $50 extra, I can get you a Shamrock Shake early.
It's literally just a vanilla shake with like a little plastic shamrock sticking out of it, and the milkshake.
It's not even gonna show up.
No, yeah.
He just puts like some green food coloring in like a vanilla shake.
The food's just waiting for them in the parking lot, but he's nowhere to be found. It's like all wrong. He's like, "There's your order, bye," and you can see the smoke leaving.
Just like.
Also,
just drives off.
Worth pointing out, Fyre Fest, more like Burning Funds Fest, and also the name I think is appropriate, Trash Fyre Fest.
Yep.
We hit the goal for likes.
Only
Thank you very
Fyre Fest
much,
I'm sticking to is Burning Man.
We'll have at least one round of Festival Rock or Flop. We're going to have 2, maybe 3 now. So thank you guys for sticking with us. We continue also our statement from last week. Whatever money you could possibly spend on the most minimal Fyre Fest II experience, take that and go to one of the many other festivals that's still not even been announced this year. Like Riot Fest has not been announced yet, and that's coming. We don't know the lineup yet. They announced Shaky Knees and Louder Than Life, which are great. Aftershock is coming soon, the lineup that is. There's a lot more you can do with your money for a festival experience than we might have something.
Please don't.
Just don't know who is he going to convince. Genuinely, I want to know what is going through his mind.
I was just thinking the same thing, because even like junior high kids, even they would get the premonition in the back of their heads, like, this isn't right. I don't think I should be listening to this guy. Even they would know.
Honestly, I'm glad he called it Fyre Fest 2, because then if somebody didn't, for whatever reason, know about Fyre Fest 1, they're going to be like, ooh, this is the second edition. Yeah. I wonder how 1 went.
Yeah, his stupid planning might have saved people a terrible experience, at least. That is one positive of that.
Yeah, so congrats, Billy. You save people money by just being that incompetent.
Yes, quite literally. Boy, that Today Show interview really aged like milk. I mean, bad. Goodness.
Yeah, no, it's been 2 weeks. That's how quickly milk ages, right?
I don't know. I think that interview was last week, wasn't it? Like a week and a half ago. It was less than 2 weeks. Yeah, I mean that whole interview now just down the tubes. Do they go to bring him back to explain better?
It's like when you leave milk out in the sun for like a week.
Middle of July.
There's like
Yum.
You come back, it's just like green. There's like a colony like forming around the cap.
Quick poll in the chat: drink hot July milk or go to Fyre Fest 2. I'm not going to make a poll.
Oh, why would you do that?
I'm not going to make a
hard
poll.
one.
I know, right? It's like,
at least I'm not losing thousands of dollars.
Yeah, it's like I can go to urgent care right after, right? Oh yeah, you can go right after. Okay, give me the hot milk.
Well, actually, no way. I'm probably spending just as much money for the hospital bill to extract the tapeworm in my body, right?
Yeah, but I don't got to go to or like fly out of the country and potentially be stranded for a week. So
yeah, no, like it's America. Our hospital bills are insane.
Oh, because someone just said in the chat too. Someone needs to put out this Fyre Fest.
The Mexican guy would be like, "Nah, screw this tool."
The Fyre Fest burger. Oh, that's what the Fire Burger. If he works at McDonald's, that's what he'll call it.
No, wait.
Good.
He steals like a Burger King burger, brings it to McDonald's office. It's like, here's your new item.
You can see the flame broil on it. That's where the fire comes in because it's a Whopper.
Yeah, exactly.
How about we talk about something
Flame
good?
broil
How about
Whopper.
something fun? Everyone wants something fun, just a little bit? A little?
Please. Yes.
Ghost have a new song coming out at midnight called Satanized.
Ooh.
So this is a big deal because Ghost and their expert advertising and marketing campaigns, they do such a good job. If you ever want to take a class or have business classes, look at bands and how they promote, look at Ghost and how well they've done. They got a billboard in Las Vegas downtown that says V is coming. Papa V, he's going to be debuted later at the Back to the Beginning Fest, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, this billboard yesterday and today has been spouting out smoke randomly as if to say just like the new Pope is about to be signed. For those who are not aware of Catholicism, that's how a new Pope is signed when a certain color of smoke is shown. And it's been that way for, I believe, millennium, if I'm correct. That's how they do it. Well, Ghost did the same thing.
That is so metal.
It's very well thought out. The reason I'm bringing this up is because, one, people are saying the new album title's been leaked. We already have a tour coming later in the U.S. It's starting on the East Coast. There's a lot of good things from Ghost. New song comes at midnight. By the time you hear this on the podcast feed, if you're listening to the audio, it'll already be out. I'll link to it as well. There is a minor bit of backlash because it's Ghost. Some people think this was done quickly in order to make fun of the current Pope who's going through health issues.
Oh, boo.
It's a bit of a reach considering a billboard like that with lights and a smokestack to go out off at intervals isn't exactly something you can whip up. And it's not just a regular billboard. It has the Ghost letters cut out and everything above it.
Yeah, and we've not had any pop-ups for the past years.
Yeah.
Also, by the way, this is like on brand for Ghost. By the way, they have like a new Papa every album, every incarnation. It's like when you know Ghost, when you know the brand, it's like, what else can you expect?
This is
on brand.
This is Spirit Halloween Satanism. They're by no way making a statement about the current Pope IRL having health issues, but some people are taking it as that way, and I think that's a bit of a stretch, just a little. So
I agree. That's like, do you guys remember when Monster was satanic?
Yep.
It's like that.
When Monster was satanic?
Yeah. It was like the moms against drugs in school.
This reminds me of like when a couple months back when there was that new Behemoth song. Oh, sorry.
That new Behemoth song title too.
Well, I was thinking I don't know, this feels like, it sounds like the situation from a few... I can't say the name, but it's like people were... people were getting all up in arms about it, but at least me personally, I'm like, are you familiar with Behemoth's brand? Are you that surprised?
See, if Behemoth did something like this, there might be a little more credibility behind it because Behemoth lyrics really do go for stuff like that, but still, it's part of the art they're doing. Ghost, on the other hand, this is just extreme coincidence backed by grade A marketing and branding to advertise new stuff this year. And it just so happens it coincides with the Pope not having great health right now. That's it.
Yeah, that's totally coincidental.
I'm sure they're high-fiving each other over it. I'm sure they're like, yes, this is perfect. But still.
Yeah, it's just more like, just why are you surprised by this? If you know the band, if you know what their brand is like before, this should seem like, this shouldn't be like that, crazy.
It really shouldn't be. I love that they did something like this. By the way, the billboard is right in front of an all-you-can-eat barbecue and sushi place and a tattoo shop and a smoke shop in Vegas. The perfect Vegas-type background for it with a big, fancy Ghost billboard. It's the best thing they could have done. Could not have picked a better spot. This is where, you see people at 3 a.m., trying to sell you pocket watches, out of their trench coat as they walk by the all-you-can-eat barbecue place. That spot of Vegas.
Yeah.
So, I think it's great. New song tomorrow. Hopefully we get a new album news soon too, because I think a lot of people are ready for a new album. It's been a while. Ghost has been busy. You can't say they haven't been busy. So.
I feel feel like isn't like 3 years kind of like standard for them between albums?
And they had a covers EP too that was really good. Like 4 of the 5 songs on that covers EP was really good. So
Yeah.
I'm happy. I hope everyone else is happy. I hope the people that were offended by the potential mocking of an ill pope calm down and understand this is not real. Ill Pope, by the way, was a Beastie Boys song. Not really. I'm just whatever. We have one more story because we're running long. I apologize. We've all been a little talky on this. By the way, my wife just said, I'm so ready for new Ghost. Yes, she's been quite excited. She is the Ghost fan, but by far. I'm the one who introduced her to Ghost, by the way, but that's besides the point. So, one final thing, and I brought this up to these two, I think it was either yesterday or Sunday. New Spiritbox album coming up. We're all excited for it. Tsunami Sea. People are so excited that the publicist said, the label said, screw it, we're releasing a single right now. Not according to Courtney LaPlante, though. Apparently, the label jumped the gun trying to release a new song as a final single the week of, and that's Crystal Roses. And as soon as Courtney found it, it's like, we didn't agree to that. And they had to take it down. Once again, the labels not being on the same page as the bands and the people making the music. I'll read the quote really quick. I don't normally like to air our behind the scenes things like this, but we did not approve of putting out another single today. None of us were aware this was happening. I am extremely disappointed and only found out about it late last night by chance. Trying to take it down ASAP. That sucks.
Ouch.
That's brutal. Come on. Like, band had no clue that another single was going to be released from their album the same week? You couldn't run that by them on a text message? Any thoughts on this?
That's gotta feel like haunting to some degree.
Yeah, I did not hear the new song. That's the one I haven't heard. I mean, again, it's like 3 days. I can wait. But still, I just wish things like this didn't keep happening because this is not an isolated incident. So, I don't know.
I think it's disrespectful to the artist, for sure.
I think it's condescending to the artist as well. It's like, oh yeah, we're releasing this single and not even inform them that it's being released.
Oh,
I feel like it's also just kind of like, I feel like it's just also going to be like disheartening to a degree for the artist because, like, you know, it's like, it feels like to me like that reads as like a clear like showcase of a power dynamic where it's like we hold the cards to like do what we want with your music, if that makes sense.
It does. And it's also, this is my logic about this too. This is not some debut album from a band that's just breaking into the scene and is trying to make a name for themselves and they're young and they weren't aware. This is Spiritbox that's been around for a while, is doing extremely well. Tour is selling out before it even starts. This is another album, several a Grammy nomination. You got all this stuff. Oh yeah, we forgot to tell you, one of the songs you wrote for this new album we're releasing right now. That sucks. That sucks.
Yeah.
So, that being said, you better believe I'm going to listen to it. I've loved every single so far. This is way heavier than I would have given them thought. I would have thought it would be across the board too. Again, I have not heard the new one, Crystal Roses. Gonna wait till Friday. They successfully took it down. I hope there were a lot of "I'm sorry, madam, please forgive me, madam" from the label was happening. I hope so, just because I think that's funny, and I think labels need to be humbled. So.
Is it bad that like? Is it bad that like, you know, when you told us in the chat about like, you know, chat, we have like our own Discord like channel where we talk about like all the news we're going to cover. But like when Luke told us about like this whole situation, I was like, oh yeah, that sucks. And then I went immediately trying to find the song. Is that bad that I was like kind of like that?
I don't even care about that for more than curiosity and stuff. But at the same time, I just look at this because I still can't get over. This is a bigger band that you've released in singles. It's the week of. How did no one in the band get any info on this? No one?
Yeah. That's the thing that bugs me the most about it. It's just the massive disrespect and disregard.
Mm-hmm. Well, we shall see, though. This will be spun into a positive.
Also, I mean, like, from the label standpoint, it's like, seriously, you're releasing this in less than a week. Like, why are you...
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be spun into a positive in a couple weeks. This will be forgotten about. It is something that can be moved on from. I hope the new album's awesome, like many other people. I think it's time now. We got to go over some music news and what we can expect, because we are running a little bit behind schedule, but I'll promise to be quick about my stuff, because we have festivals to book. We have a song of the week to talk about. We have upcoming albums, and first we have upcoming tours. So, Alex, what tours got announced this week? And I saw a few get announced. if you want to address any right now.
Yeah, we've got a few. I want to make sure. Am I lagging?
It's not lagging, but it's just like digitally, it's like digitized a little bit, like a little faded video.
Okay, weird, because you guys keep kind of cutting in and out, so I wanted to make sure.
Okay.
I wasn't, but we can't really control it.
It's 100% a Discord issue.
Yeah, it was like for me too, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. As long as it's not my connection. Yes, I do have some announcements.
Okay.
Bruce Dickinson just announced a summer-fall 2025 tour. This is Bruce Dickinson solo. That'll be fun to see for sure.
Still awesome. Go see it if you can, yeah.
Yeah, he's still kicking ass. He is very impressive. I saw Iron Maiden just a couple years ago at this point, a little over a year. It was in October of 23. Sounded great, looked great. Go see that show for sure. Slayer announced some more 2025 UK shows.
But they're retired. I know. I just want to make sure everyone...
Not retired.
The same comment everyone's been saying.
They're retired.
Yeah.
One cool thing about that, Kerry King said that Slayer is going to be performing a Black Sabbath cover at the Aussie final show in Birmingham. So that'll be neat to see.
And I think they're fit to do it. I think that's a good choice to do one. Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. That'll be really fun. Exodus just announced a spring 2025 US tour with Deicide. We've got The Offspring just announced a summer 2025 North American tour with Jimmy Eat World and Newfound Glory.
So all you pop punk kids that were pop punk kids in the late 90s, early 2000s, make sure you get some Dr. Scholl's for your Converse and get some Bengay for your lower back, because that's going to be the concert for you when you start moshing around.
Yes. Don't forget the Bengay. We've also got Bring Me the Horizon, a huge one this week. Mm-hmm. They just announced the fall 2025 US tour with Motionless in White and The Plot in You. We've got Volbeat. They are going... So this is kind of a tease. They haven't announced the dates yet, but they will announce some new details on a new album, single, and a tour. Those details are coming out this Thursday.
Very cool. One quick thing about Bring Me the Horizon, it's leg 1. There will be a leg 2 for the US. So if one of their 10 days does not come near you, just sit tight, hope for the best, and hope that leg 2 has something covered for you.
Oh, wait, last one. We have an Evening with Testament, celebrating 35 years of Practice What You Preach. This is like an intimate Testament engagement. So if you're a Testament fan, you can't miss that one.
I'm hoping there is some really old stuff. I'm hoping there's some old church ladies who think, ooh, an Evening with Testament, and go to something like this. I hope that happens.
Like, Judas Priest, you know what? It's a good call. He probably did need a priest.
Lamb of God. Oh, I would love to hear the scripture from that. Sacraments, the album? I bet this will be good for Sunday evening.
Oh, yep. Film it.
Oh, man. I love when I think of stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. So... a lot of good tours, good names dropped too. So again, good stuff coming. Then we go over to upcoming albums. We already talked about one with Spiritbox. What else is coming out on the 7th of March, Rowan?
We actually have a very kind of like a crazy week. So we have Destruction with Birth of Malice. Destruction is like a pretty classic, like sort of like thrash power metal band.
Okay.
We have Whitechapel with Hymns in Dissonance.
That one I'm excited for.
Yeah. Disturbed has the 25th anniversary of The Sickness coming out. So, 25 years of So, hey, feel old, all you people out there.
The sound can now rent a car. Yeah.
It's been able to rent a car for a while. It can legally... it's been 4 years since it could legally drink.
Yeah.
Jethro Tull is coming out with Curious Ruminant. And finally, guys, we've been talking about this for months. It's like the most hyped album, I think, or one of the most hyped albums on the channel or on the podcast. It's The Wiggles, Wiggle Up, Giddy Up. Yeah.
Finally, we're getting the cover of Fruit Salad that we all want. By the way, I need to add The Wiggles into our folder. Just somehow. I need to update the folder with more bands, and The Wiggles will be in there when I do it. I promise.
Have you shot The Wiggles?
No. But I would. Oh, come on. Like, you wouldn't go to The Wiggles if it was at an actual festival with other bands like that? Come on. You know you would.
Dude, that would be like, if any band ever does like a joke concert with like The Wiggles, I will pay money. I don't even care who the other act is. As long as it's a metal band with The Wiggles.
And they bring them out like they do a metal cover of Fruit Salad? Yeah. Of course I'd be up for that.
Have you seen? You definitely seen the. You guys have definitely seen like the psychosocial fruit salad mashup, right?
Oh yeah.
If
There's a lot of combinations of those, yeah.
I will have so much respect for Slipknot if they ever bring the Wiggles up on stage just to perform that mashup.
Fair enough. So
yeah,
we're now going to go over quickly. Actually, first, let's go to Song of the Week. This week it was chosen by Rowan. If you want to go over what the Song of the Week was.
We got The Other Side by Memphis May Fire.
Very nice.
So their album that's coming out this like later at the end of the month is called Shapeshifter, and this is like one of the latest singles that's come out from that album. I gotta be honest though, like at this point they're only holding out on like 2 songs that are not already released on the album. I mean, like if you have like a track list of like 10 and you already released 8, I'm just speaking for myself here, but at this point, like really, you can't just release the last 2 already.
That has become a theme for some bands. This is not a unique situation anymore. So I do wonder if this is if this is a label situation where, you know what, release every song as quickly as possible, release the album later.
I know, yeah, but it's like, you know, I know we don't like to mention them, but it's like when like Falling Reverse's new album came out, and it's just like it's really just all the singles that's been coming out since like 2019. It's like this just feels more like a compilation with like maybe 2 extra songs.
I agree. So we're going to go to Super Chats now. We're going to go quickly because we are running out of time and we have festivals to book. Thank you guys so much for your patience on this as well. First up from Paul, for Kid Rock, MGK, and Falling in Reverse, the accurate Triforce of Suckage. Oh, well, can't argue that. From Ellie Yeats. From Ellie Yeats, saw Green Day live, Dookie and American Idiot in full, so much fun, and yes, it included All By Myself. I saw that tour last year, the stadium tour where they did both the 20th and 30th anniversary. It was a lot of fun. Paul Ureta, thoughts on Supercharged by The Offspring? I have not heard their latest. Have either of you?
Nope.
Just a couple of the singles, and they're good.
Fair enough.
They're fun.
Fair
enough.
Offspring. Yeah. Yes, very on brand. I figured they would be very on brand at this point for what they're doing. From Paul, did you check my 10 albums list? Are they good? I saw you post a few of them. They looked fine for what they are. I just don't remember any of them off the top of my head right now, like for different lists.
Post those. Does he like have a YouTube? Does he like post on his YouTube?
He posts them as comments. So if you post them on comments on this week, we'll check them out. We can heart them there.
Oh, okay.
From Paul, can you make us pick between 35-year-old albums? So I did shorts based on these 5 albums were 20 years old this year or 30 years old. You can pick 4 and you have to cut 1. I could do one for 35. I just have to find a list for them. Also from Paul, 10 good albums by bad bands sounds interesting. It does. I won't knock it away. From Blue Cat, hello, Sapphire. Future Rock Coliseum Wednesdays or date change? Okay. I said that we're going to start doing the podcast on Wednesdays. When every few months when we do a Rock Coliseum, that will still be on Wednesday. We'll just bump up that week's podcast to Tuesday, the day before, for just 1 week. So for Rock Coliseum weeks, that'll happen. That'll on Wednesdays. That's also why we're waiting till April, because we have a Rock Coliseum coming up later this month. What will be Look Outside Your Window by Slipknot? What will be? It'll be fine. I hope it'll be soon, if I'm understanding your question. From Paul, what is your next which album comparison? I'm not doing that series anymore because not enough people watched. From Ellie Yeats, brand new, more like old brand. From Paul, band other than Five Finger Death Punch that can support Monster Energy. So what other bands are there that do the Monster Energy stuff? There's been quite a few. Hailstorm was one of them that were like on the Monster Energy tours. But I think
are we speculating, or is this like is like a factual question?
I don't know. That's all that was given to me for the question. But like, there's been quite a few bands that Monster has supported, but Five Finger Death Punch is definitely the most tied to it, I think.
Stitched Up Heart are very looped in with Monster. They do a lot of stuff together.
They are. I do remember that too. Yeah.
I feel like just like any butt rock band is kind of on brand.
You're not understanding the question, Rowan.
I'm sorry, I don't.
Final one from Paul. Which name is worse? Limp Bizkit, Chumbawamba, or Hoobastank? Hoobastank.
Stank. Yeah, stank.
Yeah, stank. Come on. Finally, from Rockin' Movies with Tyler, thoughts on the Elimination Chamber and the turn. So for the WWE fans, John Cena, Mr. Never Give Up, most Make-A-Wish choices like for kid cancer patients of all time, finally, for the first time in like 20-something years, became a bad guy in the ring, and now he's a mean person.
He's a heel. Yeah.
He's a big old heel. Big time. It was well done, and I liked it. So he's on his retirement year. Like, this is it for him. So let him finally do it when he wants, you know? And they already have good guys. Let him have fun.
I know, but you want to go out as you want to end it as a heel, though? Like,
a lot of people do to put another person over. Like another face over it. You know what? They did it well. I'm fine with it. So, that being said, we now have to book some festivals. Alex and Rowan, are you ready?
Let's do it.
Good, because we're going to do 4 bands this time. And for those who are not aware, each week when we hit a like goal, we try to book a 4-band festival at random from over 200 bands chosen and see if we'd go to it or not. Festival rock or flop. Last week we had 3 rocks and 1 flop. Is that a good way to say it? I'll think of it's good enough. You get the point. First up will be our own festival. What do we want to name our festival this week for day 1? There's got to be something.
Trash Fyre Fest?
Trash Fyre Fest actually works pretty well. You know what? Day 1, Trash Fyre Fest. Let's see what we got. And so everyone knows I'm not cheating. Here's the folder. Band 1 for Trash Fyre Fest. Walk the Moon. They came up last week, so we need to move on. They're the Anason and Shut Up You Dance. Yeah. Number 1. Qualifier we'll have to skip. Weezer. Okay. They have an audience. They do have an audience, guys. They have a big one. Number 2. Corey Feldman. Well, we're all going.
That's perfect.
We have Trash Fyre Fest with Corey Feldman. Boy, oh boy, the universe is healing. Number 3. Hollywood Undead. Well, I'm going to be honest. This is actually accurately being described for what we're doing. Both my co-hosts, everyone that's listening, are trying to a little beside themselves, but they're both smiling. And number 4, Des Rocks. Boy, Des Rocks does not belong. Oh. Well, are you guys going to Trash Fyre Fest?
I'm sick.
Yeah.
You don't even know what Trash Fyre Fest is yet. What do you mean you're sick?
Are we?
I'm sick.
Are we charging the Prometheus package here?
Oh yeah, because that's Ooh, if they got Corey Feldman for Fyre Fest II, that actually would be perfect.
Yeah, that'd be like again. That'd be like leaning into the joke.
Yeah, that's true. That'd be self-aware. Someone just said, "Okay, this festival is so bad, it's actually good."
Yeah, I mean, like with the name, I feel like we were kind of going in with like something so bad it's good. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's Weezer. So Weezer's the headliner. Corey Feldman's the opener. Des Rocks, Hollywood Undead. This is like a Topeka, Kansas radio station festival, by the way. Like true middle of nowhere. I unfortunately am seeing a lot of no's. So unfortunately, we're off to a rough start. Up next is Paul Fest. Thank you so much, Paul. Paul Fest, band number 1, The Used. Okay. We're already kind of course correcting right here. Number 2, Panic at the Disco. Interesting. Right. No, we're getting a big old emo fest right here.
Yeah, it works so far.
Number 3, Billy Idol. Boy, this is a Vegas show written all over it. Panic, Billy Idol, you know. Okay, and number 4, Goo Goo Dolls.
This is like a festival for my mom. That's not even a joke.
I agree. I don't know. This actually has some legs to it, even though it's a unique festival that a lot of people would not be expecting on paper.
You legit got like 3 of my mom's favorite bands.
Goo Goo Dolls were actually pretty fun live. They sounded great.
Yeah, we've seen Goo Goo Dolls live. I took her to a concert as a birthday gift.
Oh, that's a good shift. Good for you.
Yeah.
Huh. Billy Idol, Goo Goo Dolls, Panic at the Disco, and The Used. Yes, I'd go. There's nothing that bad there, you know?
And
it's just like, huh.
Don't be a stick.
It's okay, yeah.
This is a don't be a stick in the mud fest. Just go and have fun.
I mean, Billy Idol is fun, so that would be a really good part of this.
Oh, he is.
Yeah. better than Trash Fyre Fest, yeah.
Yeah, someone just said, it's definitely better than the second day. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, so much better.
I see some no's and yeses, but I do see some slight lead towards yes. So, you know what?
Mom Fest.
Mom Fest?
Yay.
Oh, like that would not sell. Come on, you know that'd
Yeah.
sell a ton of money. We got one more because we hit our goal of super chats. Thank you all for everyone that did all the individual super chats. One final day. What are we going to call this one? We already have Trash Fyre Fest. We had Paul Fest. What's this one going to be?
Phoenix Fest.
Phoenix Fest? Oh, because it rises from the ashes of the Trash Fyre Fest? Phoenix Fest, number one. Go ahead.
I was going to say, Phoenix is also burn up, too, so it's like...
Hey, you know what? Band number one for Phoenix Fest, Lamb of God.
Okay, yeah, no, never mind. This is Rising from the Ashes, all right.
Number two, Def Leppard. Phoenix Fest has a budget. Number three, Beartooth. And number four, Danny Elfman.
I'm going. This is going to be fun.
For all of you who are not aware that Danny Elfman does live shows, we weren't either till we saw it live, and it was awesome.
So
Wait, are we
good.
talking Danny Elfman, or are we talking Oingo Boingo?
Danny Elfman.
Danny Elfman.
He does Oingo Boingo
crap.
songs, but he does Oingo Boingo songs also, but he also has a full orchestra, full 30-piece band behind him. He does soundtrack songs from all his movies. He does Oingo Boingo stuff. It was killer. So
You have not lived
Okay.
until you've seen the Simpsons theme song live.
with a 30-piece orchestra and a band with 3 drummers all on stage, 3 full drum kits, and they're showing acid
that's
trip
cool.
Simpsons visuals, and they did Edward Scissorhands, and then they
This-
had and it started with Oingo Boingo stuff. Yeah, it was killer.
This feels like the festival to to take on acid or something.
They provided the visuals for it.
Yeah.
And he how old is he? Was it this one at 70?
Danny Elfman, 70?
60 or
I
70?
think he's in his 60s, I think.
Okay, let's just between 60 and 70, he was
Yeah, yeah.
outperforming a lot of the other bands, lead singers of bands that day. He was all over the place.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I see a lot of yeses in the chat, by the way.
Right. Also, Lamb of God is also just a given for me, too.
Danny Elfman and Lamb of God on the same day. That's a pit. That's a wild, angry pit. Thank you so much for sticking with us as we went overtime. Thank you to everyone that gave super chats, all the people that liked the video while it was going live as well, and especially for those who joined us on YouTube. Sorry for some of the Discord issues. I think it was a little bit of lag, but I was looking at it. It was 100% Discord, and we can't stop the show to fix that because Discord is Discord, unfortunately. That's just how it is sometimes. For those listening on the podcast feed, hopefully you won't know a difference. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will be back next Tuesday again on starting the first week of April. We'll be switching to Wednesdays. We'll have a few more Tuesdays together, then we'll switch to Wednesdays. Alex, do you have anything you want to close with? Any messages before we get to your joke of the week?
And I think we're good.
Rowan, how about you?
Just real quick, so I got 2 new videos up on my channel right now, so
Nice.
go check those out if you're interested. Yeah.
Okay. Remind me in the chat so that way I post it with the podcast post tomorrow as well.
You don't have to do that, man. It's it's chill.
This is the first time I've been nice to someone in my life, and you're telling me not to?
Really?
Ugh.
This is the first time you're being nice to someone.
No wonder chivalry is dead. Ugh. So, that being said, final thing, someone just confirmed in the chat, 71. So he was 70 last year, and I was right.
Oh, you were right. I am so sorry. He looks really good for his age.
He looks great for his age,
that's
and
why-
I stand by. He was, Alice can confirm, he was outperforming a lot of the other singers of most of the bands that day.
Yeah, no, that's why I was surprised when I heard he's 71. Is I thought he was 30 when he started, or 30 something when he started working with Tim Burton or whatever.
That would be about right then if he's 71, because that's 40 years.
I guess, yeah.
It does math out. That's math,
Damn,
right?
that's wild.
Yeah. So, alrighty. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Alex, how are you going to destroy the chat today?
Oh no, the pressure.
You already have your own tomato emojis in the chat.
I gotta start it. If I start it,
This is the tomato section of the podcast.
Yeah, but now you're setting that precedent for people. Now it doesn't even matter if the joke's
Oh,
joke
Rowan,
can be good.
Rowan, that precedent was already set months ago.
She
on,
occasionally has
let's
good
be
ones.
honest. Let's be honest. I can throw tomatoes at myself. You gotta learn to. All All right, you guys. So what's the difference between a hippo and a zippo?
The H and the Z?
Okay, I gave you that one from my T-Rex joke, but no.
Last week you kind of destroyed what a joke could be. So yeah, I have to go with the literal now. I have no other answer for that. Rowan, you got anything?
That's not right. I don't, but that wasn't right. What Luke said?
No. Okay, so the hippo is heavy, while the zippo is lighter.
It's so lame.
I at least give that one over last week's, so that is a step up.
Better than
You tried to
an H and a
make
D.
it. Well, I mean, like with the joke you said last week. Apparently, the literal thing. Could be
Actually,
the
they're extinct.
Oh, they're extinct. Duh. That's
it's like
why
one's an
T-Rex
animal,
can't
one's a
clap.
device that you hold in your hand. Stupid.
One's an animal that can run 5 miles per hour underwater. The other's a company made lighter that has a lid on it.
Yeah, what are you, a moron?
The pun was there. Oh, someone doesn't understand in the chat. Oh. Say it again,
Zip-
Alex.
Hippo and a zippo. What's the difference between a hippo and a zippo?
Yes.
Hippo is heavy, and a zippo is lighter.
See, Zippo is a brand of lighter, everyone in the chat. That's what that means. Like a nicer brand, like a heavy-duty lighter that have custom lighters.
It's like a nice, kind of like steel plated like lighter or something like
Zippos.
that.
They're lighters.
So I was going to give the applause, but now that we had to explain the joke...
Better than Okay, come on. Bring me more tomatoes. Give me the tomatoes.
Next thing we know, Alex will say next week that hippos are extinct.
What happened to the hippos?
I'm not here passing along falsities, okay?
Coach is getting like really busy this week.
Oh, someone said, yeah, that's why I was confused. Yeah. And final thing will close. Oh, someone just said you disappointed Fozzie Bear. No, definitely on brand for Fozzie Bear, by the way. Final thing we'll close with. Fun fact, the first gift Luke ever gave me was a Zippo lighter from Aftershock, and that's very true.
That's
sick.
Oh, cute. Look at bringing it full circle.
Oh, yeah, that's why she made that joke. That's exactly why.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Hope you all hope you all have a great week. Hopefully we have more good news to give you next week. Any good news, any positivity would be nice. And hopefully it's not Fyre Fest II, more shenanigans.
Look, it was kind of a fire joke.
Oh, goodness.
Why did you have to say that right before we logged off?
Yay.
Give me back the stairs joke.